Hello and welcome students to the lectures on cervical carcinoma. And since I'm teaching cervical carcinoma this week, I'm today going to be discussing about the FIGO classification of cervical carcinoma. Uh, a classification in which I used to get confused a lot because FIGO classification is there for all kind of cancers which we are going to discuss about. And it used to confuse me every time, stage 1A1, 1A2, B1, B2. So today's class, I have tried to dedicate it to making it easy. I'm going to give you tips and tricks to make FIGO classification according to the cancer. That means a specific cancer wise, easy to remember in your mind. So just watch up close and try to get the gist of it. Let's start. So what I've made on the on the whiteboard is actually a diagram to make it easy as we go. Now I'm going to ask you questions, and if you will answer yourself, and I'm going to stage it, right? So this actually, the FIGO classification is based upon clinical staging along with the the imaging staging. All right, so this is a help of biopsy, the clinical staging, and also the imaging study. So in total we are making the FIGO classification. Let's start and let's just go conceptually towards this classification. So basically, let's start with cervix. If at all a cancer is to start in the cervix, what stage will you call it? Stage 1. I'll say we'll call it stage 1 when it is limited to the cervix, or maximum it has gone into the uterus somewhere, because uterus is a part of cervix is a part of the uterus. So even if it goes to the corpus, it is included in stage 1. It has still not invaded the surrounding structures. It's in the cervix or in the uterus. So if you remove the uterus, cancer is not spilled away. All right, so that will be stage 1. Remember, stage 1, is the stage in which the cancer is in the cervix only. It has not gone in any other surrounding structure. What is stage 2 then? Where would the cancer, after it has gone in the cervix, it is spreading in the cervix, where will it go? It will go to the upper two-third vagina, or the parametrium. Stage 2 will be that it is either gone into the upper two-third vagina, or it has invaded the parametria, but it has not yet reached the pelvic wall, the side wall. It is not that much advanced. So stage 2, two-third vagina, upper two-third. Why am I saying upper two-third vagina? Because that's where it's going to go. Where else will it go? It will go to the upper, right? Around cervix is what? So the vagina. And the upper vagina, it will go close to the cervix. It's in close lining with the upper two-third of the vagina, right? And maximum it will go to the parametrium. Now, if a person comes to you, this is also one of the conceptual questions I'm asking. If a patient comes to you and this tumor is right there in front of your eyes, the typical cauliflower appearance, the confluent edges, the discharge and everything, the foul smell, you saw and you feel you have that thing that it is a CA cervix case. So what do? You do, of course, after PS, you do the PV examination. What do you see in that? Now, first of all, you will try to see whether this tumor, it has eroded the vagina also, or is it only on the cervix? So if you put your finger and you can feel the cervix all around in the upper part of the vagina, it is already stage 2. It is already stage 2. Even if it is, even it's a part of vagina, it is stage 2. It is spread. So you don't have to go to parametrium also in this case. Okay, now if you see the tumor and it has reached the parametrium by your PV examination, you can't find, you feel that the tumor is all around. It has gone to the parametrium. Whether it has reached the pelvic wall, this is the imaging studies will tell you. But whether it is all around, that your hand will tell you. Also, you can do PR examination also. Of course, that is a part of your, examination when you can see a cervical tumor. So anyways, so that means, what I'm trying to tell you is, put it in your, clinical scenario. So when you see a tumor which has eroded the edges of the vagina as well, stage 2. You're doing a PV and you can feel the tumor all around, stage 2. But what is stage 3 then? Stage 3. After, what do you think now? After this 2/3 of the vagina, where is it going to go? To the lower 1/3 vagina. Also, since I said it has reached the parametrium and not pelvic wall, stage 3 will be what? Stage 3 will be what? It will reach the pelvic wall. The idea of saying that it has not reached the pelvic wall in stage 2 is that the stage 3 means it has reached the pelvic wall. So basically stage 3 is lower 1/3 vagina, pelvic side walls, okay. Hydronephrosis. Why do I say hydronephrosis? Or a functioning one kidney. Why do I say hydronephrosis? Because by the time it has involved the parametrium and gone to the pelvic side wall, do you think the ureter will be spared? Ureter will not be spared, and once the ureter also comes into, you know, the tumor, it gets you know, by the pressure effect, by the necrosis, it gets atretic, and because of that there is backflow and hydronephrosis. So now do you understand why it's very easy to understand phygostaging? So stage 3, hydronephrosis. And of course your pelvic lymph nodes, how will they be left? So pelvic lymph nodes and para-aortic lymph nodes will also come in stage 3. Mind you, I have not yet gone into 1A1, 1A1, 1A2 or 1A, 1B. I have not yet done that. I'm just trying to make it easy conceptually, the phygostaging. Once you know this thing, it's very easy for me to go to the next step. Okay, so pelvic and lymph nodes, which in case of cervical carcinoma happen to be internal iliac, external iliac and obturator lymph nodes. Also the para-aortic lymph nodes, because obviously the pelvic lymph nodes, they drain into the aortic, the para-aortic lymph nodes. So all these, you know, blood vessels, they have their respective their respective lymph nodes, in which these things, they drain into the lymphatic channels of their respective name of these arteries. Aorta has its own channel, external iliac, common iliac, internal iliac, they all have their own lymph nodes. And then finally obturator lymph nodes are specific for cervical carcinoma. So anyways, and of course stage 4, like in all cases of phygostaging, stage 4 happens to be the bladder, the rectal involvement and the spread beyond the pelvis. Lungs, the meds to liver, lungs, brain and stuff. So this was the very basic conceptual phygostaging. In the next segment, I'm going to talk about 1A1, 1A2, 1B1 and so on.